Hello, and thank you for joining me. My name is Rich, and today we're going to go over our numbers. We're going to go over the numbers that so far this week, so far this month. We'll dive into some sales, discuss those. First of all, I should probably level set. No, actually, my agenda says that I need to start the timer. So let's go ahead and do that. I'd like to keep these around 15 minutes. Today we'll probably go over as we've got some things to cover and some introductions and whatnot. So a little bit over today. Bear with me. Suppose we should level set. Level set, first of all, is that I hate cameras. I don't like being recorded. I don't like being in front of a camera. So I'm going to be awkward. I'm going to get over it. I'm going to stumble and stutter and whatnot. Please bear with me. Public speaking, that goes along with the stumbling and stuttering. And I'm not thinking about what I'm saying, and sometimes I get lost and sidetracked. Might be some ADD in there. I don't know. That hasn't been diagnosed. But anyway, let's see. You'll see that before us is an agenda. I need the agenda. Otherwise, I'm going to get off on rabbit trails and we'll never cover what I intended to cover. This series, Know Your Numbers, is replacing the Holy Ship It. Holy Ship It was all about what items or what orders came in since Saturday, yesterday, since 9 a.m. when I last went to the post office. It also covered some things, some experiences that I had, some customer interactions, as well as what sold, how much it sold, things like that. That was a little technically awkward, besides me being personally awkward. Technically, it was awkward as well. A lot of issues with mics. Hopefully, this will be a lot better. I think this will be more informative, provide more value than watching me ship some orders, which have been rather sparse this month, but we'll get into that. Before we get into the numbers and before we get right into this, we should know that I am not an expert. I in no way, I am figuring this stuff out. I am not a salesman by trade. I am not a retailsman. I am in IT. I have worked in IT for the past 30 years. That's what I know. Put me in a corner, stick me with some code, and I'm happy. But, all this stuff, numbers and anyway, it's not my expertise. This is what I have picked up. These charts, they're ever evolving, but this is what I have so far to help me understand how we're doing, just how are we performing. Some may ask after they see these numbers, well, why are you doing this? It hardly seems worth it. Get a job at McDonald's. You could probably make the same amount of money. That may be true. Although I will tell you that I have enjoyed learning. I've always enjoyed the problem and finding the solution and just analyzing it. I'll analyze something to death. Oftentimes we'll call it analysis paralysis, but I do enjoy it, and it has provided some income and afforded us some other luxuries. We'll get into those at another time. But anyway, so the point of it is, back to the agenda. I am not an expert. So what I have on here is the very first thing is talk about a performance. Where are we as of now? Full disclosure, I'll be as transparent as I can. And so here we go. This is a chart that I will track our weekly sales. So we are in week 4 currently. Well, actually, we're over here in week 5. But in this week, you can see I have a grand total of 31 sales. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so what we see here is we'll see all Mondays for the month are grouped together, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I'm sorry, this would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I like to see how we're performing, this Monday compared to a week ago on Monday. I also have here kind of where I stack them on top of each other to hopefully see a trend in what are our best days. And I'll be quite frank that this fluctuates. Some days it's Wednesdays, some days it's the end of the week. You would normally probably reasonably expect that weekends would be the best time, would be the best. And it is, but you can see that this Wednesdays did seem to surprise us a little bit here. So that's where we are. That's that. Let's go back to our agenda. And we are now on performance. I like to track our performance. So let's go back here to this one. And you'll see that for the month of August to date, we have, and this is gross revenue, we have made $1,995. You'll see the cost of goods sold so far, what we paid in fees, how much we paid in promotions, tax we don't care about so much, what we've actually paid in shipping. So this is the price of the labels. See our profit, which is minus the cost of goods. See our net sales. So this would be net. This is what we collected, what we kept after fees, promotions. You get it. Labels, those sorts of things. To date, we're looking at an average sales price of $16, which isn't the greatest. It's not obviously where we want to be, but it is what it is. We are doing a lot of clearance sales, so we're trying to get rid of a lot of inventory, accepting a lot of offers, just to get rid of some things that, some items that just haven't performed. That leaves us with an average profit per item of $6.44. And here I'm calculating our return on investment. And again, as far as where we're at month to date in sales, and then the average number of sales per day, we're sitting at 5. All right, so this is charting. We're on a decline here. Kind of in the title I've said, are we going to make it? I don't know, folks. What are we looking at? We're looking at 3-4 more days. I don't think we're going to match last month in gross sales. That's a lot to recoup. Our net, so here we are on our net. So we are definitely a downward trend here for this month as compared to previous months this year. And this is tracking an attempt to attract our profit margin so far this month. Let's see, go back to agenda. Geez, we are just rolling through this. We're going to get hung up in sales, so that may be where we're gonna go over time. Historical is a chart that I put together of just data. Data. Obviously, it's data, but this is how we performed every month in every year that we've been in business. And I'll say in 2021, when we started this endeavor, my data collection was not the greatest. It's pretty hit and miss and incomplete. 2022 did a better job at collecting some information. You can see some of that stuff I just wasn't collecting. So again, it'll be interesting to see what happens next year. And then this is 2023 and where we are to date. So this would be January on through August up here. Here, this would be January. This series, I should say, would be January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So you can see where, as far as numbers sold, we're neck and neck, pretty close to neck and neck of last year this time. What are we? Within 1. And I'll tell you, I did make a Macquarie sale before I started this, so we would be right at last year, equal to last year, August. Done pretty well here. 2022 really was, both my wife and I were holding full-time jobs. We both work a considerable bit of overtime. And so we did this part-time. I'm still doing it part-time. I'm working full-time. She has now more time to devote to this. She has some other opportunities she's looking into. So some things have taken her away lately. That might have something to do with it. Who knows? We've also been doing auditing. So we have about 2,700 items now in inventory. We've been in business since 2021. So some of these items are still left from 2021. We want to make sure that we still have the items we say we have. So again, that's a pretty intense exercise for her to go back and look at those, and then look at the listing. What's the title like? What are the pictures like? Because in 2021 we didn't know what we're doing. I still don't know what we're doing, but we know a heck of a lot more than what we did in 2021. I'll tell you that. So anyway, so that's happening, and that might be. I am a little concerned. It looks like last year, and I don't know why, but last year we actually was fewer sales last year. So does that mean we're going to experience slower sales next month? God, I hope not. I really need at least what we're doing this month. But anyway, we'll see where we are. You guys stick around, and we'll see how we do next month. And so gross sales, where are we as far as sales? So you can see we have a lot of things on clearance, so that affected our revenue as compared to last year. Our average sale price was a little higher. Okay, so enough of that. Where are we at? We are running pretty low on time. I'm going to run over. Apologize for that. We'll see how far this goes. Next time we may a lot more time. We use Vendoo. We use Vendoo to track our inventory. We use Vendoo to cross-list. We cross-list. Mainly we do, obviously, eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, and Depop. We have some items on Grailed. We used to do Citizen. We no longer do Citizen. And then Tradesy obviously became Vestair Collective. We are no longer doing them. So anyway, we're back to Mercari, eBay, Poshmark, and Depop. And so that's what we use to cross-list. So we do use Vendoo. Vendoo has some nice analytics. We'll go ahead and visit that. We'll go here to their analytics. And let's look at, say, we'll do 20th, the 26th. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go back. We're looking at $496, $219. We have 32 sold. Number of listings is pretty low. Our average sale price, again, is pretty low. Again, no surprise, eBay is our market top revenue as far as profit and revenue. The marketplace is the best for our profit and revenue. Average sales price, again, is better on eBay, and then the number sold, no surprise there. Been doing a lot of offers to likers on Mercari, so we are beginning to sell more on Mercari and Poshmark. It seems every time somebody likes something, I send them an offer, so that's starting to work pretty well for us. You see our brands, our American Eagle, Jones, New York, Maurice's, Old Navy, Apartment 9. So we get a lot of these brands. Apartment 9, we try to stay away from. Again, we're trying to clear out a lot of stuff where, excuse me a moment, when we would pick up just about anything. Don't do that so much anymore. So a lot of that is we are clearing that out. Categories for us would be women's tops, jeans, followed by jeans, and then dresses, skirts, and then we are selling some men's jeans down there. Not a bunch, not a bunch. You can see that. And clothing. Yep, we are primarily a clothing. We used to be an everything seller. We have niched down to clothing. Once in a while, might come across something. I get a squirrel brain, and I'll throw something out there. That's something other than clothing. All right, let's go back to the agenda and do the month. Where are we on our month? Let's do month to date. All right, month to date. So far in August, we have $1,900. We've made 120 sales. There's our listing. There's our average sales price. Again, clothing, no surprise. eBay being our top performing marketplace as far as revenue and profit. Average sales price. We had a really killer Depop sale. Had an item out there. It was listed for $49, which is higher than our usual or our average sale, our average price. Anyway, it was bought, paid for on Depop, so they win this month. And then no number of items sold again. No surprise, it was eBay. Brands, Old Navy, maybe surprised by that. I know I was. Massimo. You know, if it has if it's new with tags or has a, design or it's titled appropriately, you could sell Massimo, or at least we're able to. American Eagle and Gap and Jones of New York. So these are the brands that I these days I'd like to put into our store as we come across them. So there we have the monthly. Let's get into some sales. Are we bored yet? I hope not. Let's get into our sales sheet. All these metrics, these graphs, they are all pulled from this sales sheet. So this is the master sheet, if you will. On this sheet, on a daily basis, we will record our orders and where they came from. This serves as my pick list. So this will be filled out before I go picking in the morning. And then I will take this and on my phone, pick these orders, bring them up here and pack them behind me, as you can see my shipping table. So from these numbers, we have all of our other metrics are derived. Sorry, folks, hate to interrupt. I decided to cut the video off before we got into the sale details. I think I'll save that for another video. I think this one was long enough covering the metrics and that. I'd like to continue doing that in this series. Know your numbers. We'll continue doing that. Hopefully that's of some interest and some value to some others out there. I personally think it's I like to see what numbers other people are experiencing. I also like to see what things have sold and what they sold for. So if that's of interest to you, then my next video, I'll go ahead and dive into last week's sales, and we'll go over what those items were, what they sold for, all those details. But again, we'll cover that in another video. So I do appreciate you sticking with me to the end of this video. Please stay tuned. They will get better. I'm pretty sure they'll get better. Certainly will get smoother. So again, thank you, and have a good night.